there are many other possibilities which open up for us when we can view awakening in this way, in terms of a coaching relationship. I want to describe to you 6 core competencies, 6 skill sets which anyone can learn in a very short period of time, which give you the capacity to provoke awakening in another human being. So these are the 6 core competencies of being an effective awakening coach. The first of these core competencies is a bit of a mouthful. It's called the articulation of inspired certainty. I told you it's a mouthful. The articulation of inspired certainty. Now, what does that mean? Inspired certainty means, does the language make sense to you, inspired certainty? It means that you can look at another human being who is attempting to achieve something and absolutely know for sure, in a way that carries no doubt in you at all, that that human being is capable of achieving what they hope to achieve. I learned to ski fairly late in life. I understand that in this country you are actually born with skis on your feet when you come out of your mother's womb. Is that correct? Is that what they say in Norway? Well, it's not true. It's not true for me. So I learned to ski in my 40s. And I remember the first time that the skiing instructor took me up on the really high lift. I think it was called the death ascent or something. It was like one of those really high lifts where you just keep going forever on this ski lift. And finally we got out in this blizzard on top of the mountain. And I was absolutely convinced the only way I could get back down the mountain again was to get back on the lift the same way that I came up. I couldn't see any other way that I was going to make it down. But my skiing instructor, who was actually, I think, from Australia or New Zealand, I don't know how you become a skiing instructor in Australia and New Zealand. I don't think you have any snow there. But he was a young guy of maybe 21 or 22. He was chewing gum and he said, "No, that's no problem. It's going to be totally fine. Just relax. You're just going to go a little bit this way, and then you're going to lean into this foot and go a little bit that way." And he showed me how I could do that, and I could do that. And within a few minutes, I was happily weaving my way down like this. And it took no more than maybe 5 minutes that I hardly felt I needed him anymore. And we skied down together. And of course, what was the next thing I did as soon as we got to the bottom? What was my vote?
Go up again.
Yeah, I jumped straight back on the ski lift, and we did it again. The gift that instructor gave me, more than which leg to lean on and how to make the skis do this, the gift that he gave me on top of that mountain was the gift of inspired certainty. He was there with me and absolutely knew that I could make it down the mountain in one piece. He obviously coached hundreds or thousands of people down the same mountain, and he was actually a little bored. He was like, "Come on, it's nothing, just..." Have you had an experience like that? You not necessarily what? Not with skiing, I see. But you hang out with somebody who maybe they may not be particularly in the absolute excellence in that field, but they look at you and they absolutely know you can do it, and they're almost a little bored, and they're so sure you can do it. There's really no anxiety in their demeanor at all, and that certainty becomes infectious. Who's had that experience? It can happen with all sorts of things. It can happen actually with dating, You had that experience when you feel really nervous and you want to ask somebody out, and you have a friend who goes, "It's nothing. Just go and ask. Go on, just go." You know? And suddenly it doesn't seem such a big deal anymore. Who's had the experience with dating? Okay. One honest person. All right. So this is called inspired certainty. And in most areas of coaching, whether formal coaching or informal, inspired certainty is actually more important than a skill set. Do you understand what I mean? Having somebody there who absolutely knows you can do it becomes more important to your success than what method you're going to use to achieve your goal. Some people have a grandparent or a parent, or it could even be a sibling, who holds out that possibility for you when you're young, when you're a child. Maybe a grandparent who absolutely knows that you can achieve a grade at school, who absolutely knows that you can excel at a certain sport. And very often when we look back on our childhood, it's those people who held certainty for us who become the most formative influence in our lives. Is it true? Did you have somebody like that in your life when you were young, who held out possibility? And they probably shaped a lot of what has become of your life. So the first skill which we train you in the awakening coaching training, is the articulation of inspired certainty. In this case, the inspired certainty is not that you can be a great skier, or at least make it down the mountain alive. The inspired certainty is not that you can play the cello or the violin. The inspired certainty which an awakening coach embodies is an unwavering certainty about who you are and who we all are, deeper than the stories that are held in thinking. Okay. All right. Very nice. So, we have the story that I'm a plumber. I'm struggling. I'm shy. I'm ambitious. I'm this. I'm that. And we get addicted to these stories. We get hypnotized by these stories. Do you know what I mean? We hold out ideas, I'm like this, I'm like that, and we hypnotize ourselves more and more into an imprisoning reality where we're limited in what we can do and what we can't do. Every now and then we have a glimpse of who we are, what our potential is outside of those stories. When we come really into the present moment, we realize that our potential is unlimited. The limitation is only in the stories which we keep repeating in thought. An awakening coach holds inspired certainty of who you are and what is possible in life outside of the hypnotic nature of belief, the hypnotic nature of the mind. This is a skill which doesn't need to happen randomly. It's a skill which can be recognized and brought forth from within somebody wanting to become a good coach.